Labor Day is coming up, everybody, in just mere hours, and Sergeant Paul Tapao is here, our friend, my friend and yours from GPD, and we are going to talk about how people can stay safe on Labor Day, because, Sarge, everybody knows Labor Day is supposed to be a day when you kick back, you relax, you're supposed to, actually, kick your feet up and everything because you've been working so hard, but people have a tendency to go a little crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Labor Day is there to remember those hardworking men and women in any site, whether it's the private sector or the government site. You know, and it's also to acknowledge the end of summer, and what usually accompanies that is the celebration with the acknowledgement of the ending of summer. And you know, there's going to be a lot of happenings going on to include our Labor Day picnic, and we're just going to ask the community to please, the Guam Police Department Highway Patrol Division is going to be setting up DUI checkpoints. And we want to advise them to please, if you're going to celebrate, make sure you designate, and you designate always a responsible, sober driver.
Mm-hmm. How difficult is it to be, you know, out and about and knowing you've got like a responsibility to do, you've got to cover so much area. I mean, there's only so many officers, so many patrolmen and everything like that. But obviously you guys keep in, communication with each other. How do you guys actually cover as much ground as you do?
Well, we use the power of media, you know, the awareness of what we're doing and everything. Maybe it's a deterrence that people are going to stay away from the checkpoints, or maybe it's an awareness that, hey, you know, GPD's out in full force. Let's do what they're asking us to do and what anybody should do whenever they celebrate. And that's pretty much designating a sober driver. So, you know, if we're going to force multiplier, and how do we do it, and how do we, you know, assess where we're going, we go to the hot spots. We find the hot areas where heavy traffic is going to be coming from, where we take stats into consideration as to where the problematic areas exist with, you know, crash-related incidents that are related to drunk and drug driving. So really, we work closely with the community, our media partners, in spreading the message. It's not a warning, it's to advise the community that we're going to be out in full force, and please, whether it's a scare tactic or it's an awareness tactic, we want you to be informed that, you know, regardless if we're setting up a checkpoint or we're scheduling a checkpoint, anytime you're going to celebrate, designate a responsible, sober driver.
Mm-hmm. And you say this all the time, you guys aren't messing around. You know, if you see anything even suspicious and everything, you'll pull people over, ask him, possibly give them, you know, the battery of tests that you have to do and everything like that, because you're just trying to keep the island safe.
Absolutely, and it really is two faults. One is our side in law enforcement, and the other side, it falls on the individual making the responsible choices. And, you know, I've seen too many, and my career in law enforcement, innocent lives are taken because of selfish, you know, individuals choosing to assume that they have the ability to operate a motor vehicle. And what they don't understand is that once you're impaired and you're over that limit, you know, your judgment and everything and the way you operate a vehicle, it's going to be, you know, a test in pretty much playing Russian roulette. Am I going to make it home or not? And people don't understand the magnitude and what happens in the end until a crash actually happens.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and take a look at the crime of the week. Let's cue this up, and then when we come back, we're going to talk to you about how you can help continue to take care of your neighbors.
On Saturday, August 18, officers from the Dededo Precinct Command responded to Chalancotda in Dededo relative to a rock-throwing incident. Now, the preliminary report suggests that around 11:30 in the morning, a group of men, for unknown reasons, were stopping cars in Chalancotda. During the course of the incident, one individual exited his vehicle to inquire what was going on when the group of men began throwing rocks at him. Fearful for his safety, the victim immediately entered his vehicle and left the scene. As a result of what had occurred, the victim sustained injuries, with his car and other cars within the area being damaged. As responding officers arrived, the group of men fled into the jungle line, with one individual being apprehended by police. Officers arrested Red Nauros, Mel Chukis from Dededo, for the offense. As the Guam Police Department continues to work in apprehending all individuals involved, the Guam Crime Stoppers is asking the help from the community in identifying the other individuals involved, who are only described to be Chuki's descent. If anyone has any information about this crime or any other crime, you can call our 24-hour hotline at 477-HELP, that's 4357, or submit a tip online at guam.crimestoppersweb.com. All calls will remain completely confidential, and a cash reward of up to $1,000 could be paid if the information provided leads to an arrest and a grand jury indictment. Your call does make a difference.
All right, Paul, we appreciate the information as always. For people that need help, people that are going to, you know, party a little bit more, it might be a hot day, you know, it may even rain, who knows, you know, how people consume and everything. But if people need help and they need a ride home or they need to get a hold of somebody so they won't do it themselves, what's the best route for them to go?
The best thing to do is really plan ahead, you know, when you're going to go out and celebrate, and make sure that the people that you're with is there and understand that they're going to be sober drivers. Now, in the event where we have to intervene and, you know, the person is not behind the wheel, or, you know, he appears incoherent and he doesn't have a ride and he was the only, he drove himself to the event, we'll do everything to our best abilities to making sure that he gets home safe, whether it's calling a family member or you know, exercising the right to call a taxi cab to, you know, for him, that they understand that we're doing this to not only protect you, but to protect the community. So we're going to go above and beyond in making sure that not only he stays safe, but also the community abroad.
All right, Sarge, thanks so much. We appreciate it as always.
Thanks for having me. Happy Labor Day, Guam, and enjoy the festivities, and, you know, be safe out there.
All right, it's Labor Day, but Sergeant Tapao and his colleagues over at GPD, they'll be working really, really hard to make sure you and I can be safe. We're back after this.